We should have asked this 2 years ago. We talked about the Kruvim. Last week's parsha says they're supposed to have an Ark of the Covenant, and there's no mitzvah to build an Ark of the Covenant because there's no new luchos. So in Second Temple they didn't have it. But the Rambam says in Mor Nevuchim, what? Yeah, the Rambam Mor Nevuchim says the presence of two Kruvim on the Ark has a certain theological function to teach people a certain necessary truth. That's why Solomon made new Kruvim. He made gigantic ones out of wood covered in gold, right? This is being recorded anyway, so you have to record it. And in the Second Temple, what they replaced the Kruvim with what? They didn't have gigantic statue-like ones in the Holy of Holies. They had them engraved on the wall. The wall was overlaid with wood, and they engraved the Kruvim into the wall, so they had certain 3D-ness to them, and it was coated with gold. That's what existed in the Second Temple. That's why you could have, rabbinic accounts of what the Roman conquerors discovered when they destroyed the place, why they saw the Kruvim. They saw the Second Temple ones, the ones that they used to show to the people, open up the parochas wide on the holidays. So all the temples had Kruvim. Kruvim were made 3 times in history, 3 pairs, right? That's the Rambam. We should have asked, so why is it the Rambam doesn't say in Hilchos Beis Bechira that part of the construction is to make some form of Kruvim in the Holy of Holies? Yeah. Maybe, but it's just like, it should be the type of thing that sages would have told you you have to do it. Or maybe, I would think that perhaps the idea what I was getting at is maybe folk Judaism explain that we're already beyond that. Like the Rambam says, like an idea. Eventually, Rav Kook expounded this, eventually the people get even beyond Korbanos. Yeah, of course you have to do it, but eventually people will get beyond it. So this is also a sign. Like the Navi already said, people got beyond the Ark of the Covenant. Now we just have Sifrei Torah. We don't need it. Navi says it twice. We don't need this. It's the type of thing that eventually we won't need this idea. But I don't know. I also was scandalized by something. Someone took out, right before Torah reading, on Shabbos, a siddur. I couldn't find in most of those, even those Sephardic siddurs, but his siddur had it. Yeshem Yichud Kusha Brichu Hinu Nimuchim Mezuman. For what? To be said right before reading Parsha Shkalim. Right? So, that makes sense. You're about to do a mitzvah for every mitzvah. Even mitzvahs are abundant to have this. But there he said, we're reading this Zecher to Machatzitza Shekel. Zecher of the Hachraza, the announcements, everybody give half shekels toward the temple, right? And I told him, I stopped this guy. What? Just because something's in the siddur doesn't mean it's holy. Okay? The sages gave us Shemona Esrei and Brachos. Most of the things in the siddur are much later. That's just liturgy. It's not holy, right? You don't know who wrote it. The Rambam was very much against a lot of piyutim, for example. So whoever wrote this, the Shem Yichud Kutcha Brichu Hine Nimuchu Mezuman, was unaware of what it says in the Talmud. Rav and Shmuel talk about the reading of Shkalim in Maseches Megillah. And like we pointed out last week, the reading of Parsha Shkalim as existed in the temple is the same thing we do today. It's one enactment. You're supposed to read Shkalim as Adar is approaching, or on Rosh Chodesh Adar. And that reading of Shkalim is the announcement that the Mishnah in Shkalim is talking about. When it says, Mashmim al Shkalim, according to the Gemara of Machlokas Rav and Shmuel, that the reading of Shkalim that we did in the synagogue is the announcement. Which brings to the funny case that we still announce people, give your Shkalim, even though there is no mitzvah to give Shkalim because the temple is not standing. So what we did on Shabbos is not a zecher; it is the actual thing. It is the original enactment. It's not a zecher of the enactment, and it's not zecher l'machatzitza shekel. It's actually what the Mishnah verse says is zikaron, which means it's a reminder. Give your half shekels. When you say zecher, it's like we're doing something now that's different than the original ritual, so we will not forget the original ritual. What is the zecher, for example? People give half a shekel to some sort of something. Where are you supposed to give your half shekels, by the way? Or 3 half shekels? To Machon Mikdash, yeah. But that's Zecher L'Machatzitza Shekel. But the reading of Shkalim is and always was the same thing. And that is the Hashma that the Mishnah talked about. I told him, whatever you're reading out of the siddur is wrong. What are you going to do? It's like, are you a mechanic? Remember? Yeah. He's not a mechanic of Judaism, and obviously I'm not a mechanic. And it's in the siddur. You read it. You say it. You pray to God. Remember Rabbi Olbaum. He must have heard this somewhere else. He said that this is until he discovered. I was there. Rosh Hashanah, he said. Rabbi Oldbaum found in the Machzer that good old Jebus, Sonny Boy, is mentioned in some editions, including Art Scroll, Machzer, for Rosh Hashanah. The prayer for it to be said between the Tekiyas. Some obvious Sabbatean or whoever inserted something that's ridiculous in there. But, it's in there, so, you say it, Oh, look, there's text. Pages and pages of text. I have to say all of it. Say the Tehillim 7 times. Okay, I have to say it. At least that was made by people who were tzaddikim. But other prayers are, dubious. What is this? Words you can only look at with your eyes, but you can't say them. Who said such a thing?